Well, good day, tubes. Welcome to question and answer number, what are we on here? 32. 32. Sorry it's been a while since I've done one of these. I just kind of let the questions build up a bit. Anyways, we're going to be going back to, it looks like, June 15th. And this is the 22nd of August. So we're a little bit behind, but better late than never, right? So the first two here is from Skylar Prins. And it says, "Hey Bill, Skylar here. Just a quick one. Would you do a farm sim series going back to the old farm sim for good old times like Big Tony's Map or the old family farm?" Funny enough, the way things have worked now, we're actually starting to play that again. We did our first video of that last week there. So there you go. We're going back to the old family farm. And it wasn't a very long video, but the way things started there, we're going to need a bit of time to get going there. But anyways, it'll come. It'll come. Let's see that series going back to the old ones. I'm trying my best to find some really old equipment too, some really nice old stuff, and we'll see what we can do. But anyways, thank you for that question. And Skylar again has another one here, some June 15th. Another quick one for you, Bill. Have you ever considered doing a live stream on some of the projects you do? I like live streams and think others might as well. I've done live streams in the past, and I found if you have some kind of hiccup in your internet, it's not a good thing, especially when you got people watching and all of a sudden, and then everybody thinks, oh, well, I guess he's done, because you lose the feed or whatever, right? You lose the stream. So I don't really like doing live stream stuff. I don't even play games live stream because my internet's pretty good here, but it does have its odd little quirk with the router box thing there. So I really don't want to do like a live stream. That's why I kind of pre-record everything, and then I can, edit it all up and stuff, whatever, and fire it up to YouTube for you guys to watch. So, but good question. It's just we used to do live stream like what we're doing now, like talk stuff like this, and then you guys would ask me questions in the chat thing. I found that was hard to kind of keep up to as well, and trying to get everybody's questions answered. I'm like, oh man, they're all getting ahead of me, and so I kind of stopped doing them too. But yeah, and then YouTube kind of changed the way you have to do it, and I'm like, But anyways, thanks for that question. Next one's from Jamie Meek here, and this is June 15th. How's the Slingshot running? Don't see very many videos on that now. It's been pretty good. We just haven't really been out in it too much. It's either been, this is a weird summer. It's either been really hot, and it's like, God, you just bake in that thing. Even when you're driving, it's like, oh man, it's so hot, or the last couple of weeks it's been pretty much raining every day, so I don't really want to get out there when it's pouring rain, and just not great. So, but we've maybe got 1,000K maybe on it, 800 maybe this year, if maybe not even that much, not very much. So, but no, it was started up, ran good. We've been out in it, like I say, a few times, but I don't know. We got the dog now too, right? So it's a little harder to, find someone for her to stay with for a couple hours. And it's just making it more difficult, I guess, for us. But anyways, so thanks, Jamie, for sending that in. Try to get some videos for you maybe before I have to put it away again this year. Next one's from Vincent, and this is June 16th. Hey Bill, love all the videos. Hope you're doing well. My questions are, have you planted anything in the garden yet? Okay, so this is going back quite a while, yeah. So, also, have you done any more sawmilling? Thanks, and hope you have a great day. So we did plant stuff. This year was just terrible. I don't know if you've been keeping up to the garden update videos I put up I didn't do one this past Sunday, but maybe through this week I'll do something. Even the tomatoes, and other people said tomatoes, yeah, they're just not growing great this year. It's like, what's going on? I've watered and everything, and fertilized, and supposed to have beefsteak tomatoes, which are, like the nice big ones, and we got weird. I don't know. So I'm kind of going to reduce my garden, I think, quite a bit next year. Still going to probably try to do potatoes. What else? Potatoes. Probably some tomatoes again, but I don't think I'm going to do pumpkins again, because the pumpkins have done well, actually, in there. There's some there that are They're probably 300 pounds now, I would say, a piece. So they're getting pretty big. I hope they just don't go rotten on me. They might do that too. I had one small guy, and he was probably, you know, this size, big one, like basketball size. I looked at him like, that doesn't look right, and I touched it, and it's, yeah, you could tell it was mushy. So I just chopped this thing off, and then yeah, it went bad. So I don't know. There's a lot of critters around here that like to seem to chew on vines and stuff, and then that kills them, right? So Sawmill, we've done a bit there. If you've seen the little deck project, I've been so busy here with other stuff too, and I want to get a bunch more milling done and get this thing together before the winter comes. You know, it's going to have to probably go together green, so we'll see how that sits over the winter. Maybe it'll dry out and twist all up. I don't know. I hope not, but I bet you it will. I'll have to probably take it apart again and redo it, but I found if the wood seems to stay better, the spruce especially, it seems to stay better if you let the whole log dry out for about 6 months and then you mill it. It seems to be way better. The stuff I did for these beams out here, one's kind of gone like a little crooked. I might be able to still save it when I nail them together and screw it together. I might be able to draw her back together, we'll see, but anyways. So hopefully to do some more milling too. I got some more logs, like if you've been keeping up to those videos too, we cut another big tree down here the other day. It was dead on the top, like the first 20 feet, so it came down and it's ready to get sawn up too. So the next one here is, and thank you for that, sending that question in too, by the way. This is just kind regards from Wisconsin. I don't really see a name here. Oh, Andrew maybe. Maybe it's Andrew. Yeah, sorry. I should have read the first thing. So, hey, Bill, it's Andrew again. Not sure if this question has been asked or not. How is Jeremy Williams, and how is the progress on his tractor? Kind regards from Wisconsin. Well, I texted. He texted me there a wee while ago, asked me something about something. I can't remember what it was now, and his tractor still sits there. That tractor will be, if it's not seized up, I'm sure there's valves seized up in it now. That thing sat there for probably way too long now, out in that weather and crap. It's probably going to need a lot more work now to get going. He has the tank for it, the fuel tank. It was leaking and had full of rust and junk, so he took it away the day we brought it back here, actually, and that was 2014 or no, 15 and 16 maybe, and around there somewhere. We brought it back. He took that off. He took the carburetor off because it needed a bit of work too, and then I've been back since. So I don't know. Don't know what's going on with it, but it's gonna have to find a new home sometime here. So, but him himself, I haven't really talked to him. I should ask him out for coffee or something sometime. I'm sure he'd go out for a coffee with me or something. Might be kind of cool. He's ex-mayor now, by the way, too. So he's not mayor of the town anymore. But so next one here, June 22nd, from Robert. Oh yeah, you can land, so he's talking about rust here. You can land on the balloons to snip the bad guys and get the loot. So there's what we have, an airship, I think it's called, or air something it's called. I'm missing the second word, but basically an air, like a ship thing you can raid. There's guys on it and loot on it and stuff. This is rust, of course, we're talking about. I've been watching for a long time. I've seen most of your videos. Well, that's cool. Thanks, Robert, for watching. So you can land on these. There's two big balloons. Big balloons, and then there's like the airship, I think it's called, where the guys are on it and there's loot and stuff there. You got to shoot the guys off it and stuff. If you watch the rest videos, you'd know what I mean. So, but anyway, thanks, Robert, for sending that in. That's a good question. Next one is from Cameron Bruce, and this is June 27th. It says, hi, Bill. I've been a viewer for quite a long time now. I believe 2014. Ooh, that's a while back. That's darn near coming up 10 years. Oh, man, I'm old. Man, I'm old. So yeah, 2014, when I was about 9 years old. I love tractors, and specifically John Deere, what got me interested. I was wondering, since you said your Toyota Corolla is getting tired, yeah, it's getting a little tired, that thing. What would your next choice of car be? The second, well, let's do this one first. So the next choice of car, probably something else Toyota. They are pretty reliable cars. This one's actually been really good, but it's had quite a bit of short jaunt local runs kind of thing. That's kind of hard on them and stuff, hard on the transmission, all the shifting and stuff. I notice sometimes too when it's cold and you start it up, you get a little bit of a timing chain rattle in it. So it might need some work down there on it. I don't think I'm going to bother putting money into it though. So I mean, it's been a good car, and you know, it doesn't really owe us anything. So for what we paid for it, I think we paid like 12 or 13,000 for it. We've had it, well, it had about 42,000, I think, kilometers on it when we got it. And I think it's got about 160 on it now, something like that. So it's really got that much on it, but it's the short jaunt around town kind of stuff that's hard on it, right? So, so probably something Toyota. What I would get, probably something a little bit bigger for the giant kids' legs that I have here. They get pretty cramped in the back of that Corolla, so I don't know what I'd get, but something like a Highlander or something maybe. Something like that would be kind of nice. They're pretty pricey, but they are quite pricey here. Like that's probably like a $40,000-$50,000 vehicle, but that's a vehicle that's going to last you for quite a while and be quite reliable. So you can't really complain about the price of it when you know they do last. I think the Corolla's here, like a kind of basic Corolla, not with like the nav or none of that crap in it. Might not even be power windows. I don't know. I think they're like 22,000 in Canada here, so they're really not that bad, you know. And probably get one of them again if you know kids didn't have huge long legs, or if they were getting their own vehicles and driving their own vehicles, and we could just get away with the wife and I getting a Corolla for her again, because I'd probably get one of those again. I was wondering, Corolla. The second question is, I want to ask, would you be willing to play BILLSTMAXX Drive? It is a simulator. I actually do have that game. I have played that quite a bit actually. It's a simulator physics game offered on Steam, and it's very interesting, or at least to me. And this is from Brisbane, Australia. Wow, that's a long way from here, that's for sure. I know I do have that Beam, what was it called again? BILLSTMAXX. Let's see here. Let me just pull up my Steam thing here. Beam, yeah, I do have it. I've got 6.2 hours played on it, so we should do a little bit of messing around with that again. So this is a pretty cool game. Different cars and stuff, and you can crash them and race them and stuff. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat game. So, anyways, thank you for sending that in. And Brisbane, Australia. That's quite a piece from here. Thanks, Cameron, for sending that in. All right, Spencer Perry. This is from July 6th. Good day, Bill. From Spencer, I'm wondering, do you still have a big drill bit and something spanner? I found a survival game you might like called DayZ. Please keep up the good work. I do have DayZ too, and I didn't really jump into it too quick. I didn't really like it a whole lot, or something was about it that I'm like, no, I don't like this one so much. Something about, I can't remember what it was now, but something about it bothered me. But I have that giant drill bit still. I'm not sure what you're meaning by spanner though. Spanner. Does that mean like pipe wrench? Spanner? I'm not too sure. You have to leave a comment and let me know what spanner is. That's maybe something I'm not quite familiar with. But the big drill bit, I do have it, and that's actually a drill bit that's supposed to go into a big lathe. It's got like a tapered thing on it, and then like the little lock thing on the end, and then it's like the great big, I don't know, it's like a 2-inch drill bit, and it's about this long, and then the other, you know, I can't get it. It's pretty long anyways. Yeah, I do still have it. Don't use it for anything it's other than a weight, but yeah, I do still have it. But anyways, thanks Spencer for sending that question in. Next one is from Austin Zeman. How many hours on your Sawmill and Slingshot car? Oh, another Slingshot question. That's cool. The Saw has about 3 hours on it. That's about it. Not too many yet. 3 and a bit maybe. The Slingshot, I don't know. They don't really do an hour thing. They do more kilometers. I think we've got about 80. No. We're just, I think, over 10,000 K now on it. So not very much on that either, really. I'll tell you what, apparently it seems a lot to the dealership, though, when you want to trade something like that. And I think our first one we had there, we traded it in, and it had like 12,000 on it. Man, they screwed me on the trade-in on it. Oh, man. They made money off me that day, that's for sure. But anyways. Thanks for sending that question in, by the way. The next one is from Lee. It says, "Hey Bill, thanks for asking my last question on Farm Sim. I've always wondered as for many years you've put a lot of work into the house and surrounding area. Obviously you don't plan on going anywhere unless you happen to win big on the lottery." That's right. Next day I'm gone. I get like 3 or 4 big transport trucks to load up all my junk and find somewhere else to settle in. Somewhere with lots of trees and water and boats probably. Anyways, and not cold in the winter. That'd be nice too. Anyways, so yeah, win big on the lottery. That is when your day comes. Will you retire? Will the cemetery, say, for example, let you stay and rent the house off them at full price if your successor already lived in town, house in town? I don't think so. I think we'd have to move regardless, and I probably would anyways. Dylan kind of wants to take this over here. Whether he will or not, I don't know. We'll see when that time comes. Hopefully I got a few more years left in me, but we'll see. Anyways, I hope you're keeping well over there. The UK currently has a heat wave. I did hear about that. Things were melting and stuff. That was nuts. Been too hot to tend to any of the family graves at the cemetery. Kind regards, Lee from South Wales. Yeah, it's been hot here this summer too. I think that's what's kind of messed up my garden a bit. But anyways, thanks Lee for sending that in. Good questions. Next one is from Jim from New Jersey. This is July 15th. It says, "Hi Bill. When you look at the Princess Auto sales book, do you buy things from it every one? Some cool stuff in there. Hope you and the family are doing well." Jim from New Jersey. Not every time they bring a flyer out, I'll, like, I needed straps at one time, like ratchet straps. So I went and got some of them. Sometimes I won't want anything out of that flyer, but my stepdad's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Princess Auto. Do you want to come down?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I usually end up driving. Anyways, but sometimes he drives too. But we do a lot of, that kind of back and forth. If, I find something and he's like, "Oh, I don't really need anything, but I'll go for the ride." So, it's like vice versa, right? So we do a lot of, like he needs something I don't, or I need something he doesn't, or whatever, So not every book though. I don't. A lot of them, it's not really super close to us. The closest is like 35 minutes-ish, 40 minutes, depending on traffic. So, I mean, that's still far enough as it is, right? So, unless it's something I really need, I don't really bother going down. So, I think the last time I was down, we went down and got that plate tamper. And that was about it. Actually, we went to the Newmarket store, so that's a pretty good store, too. But thanks, Jim, for sending that in. Good question. Let's see here. July 15th. And this is from Griffin. "Hello, Bill. I hope you're doing well. I have 2 questions regarding the new houses that are going to put in the back field. Do you support them building houses there?" Yes and no. The one no is because you're going to throw in a bunch more houses there. It's going to take away potentially water from our well. Do you know what I mean? It could also contaminate our well. Their wells they drilled over there and the wells that they drilled around the house here all came out with salt. The only one we've got that's any good is actually behind the office down there, and it's fine. It's got no salt in it. I can't figure out why. All in that field back there, they did all these test wells and they got salt. So it's going to cost a fortune to get the desalinating units in those houses unless they run in water from somewhere else, which I doubt they will. Either way, it's going to cost a fortune. So I kind of think that's why they've not really pushed it too far yet, although they've recently had a guy in there. If you've seen the drone video, he was in there with a skid steer, Bobcat skid steer with a big mower on the front. He mowed that whole entire area and took out the small shrubs and all that junk, and I think they've been back there with a some sort of thing with a big chipper too and done a bit more. I haven't been back to look, but they're clearing it for some reason. I think they're going to probably come in with the big scraping earth mover scraper things to start scraping off the topsoil and get down to the sub garbage. Start building, I bet, putting in the services. They'll be on well and septic back there too, so they're gonna have to install all the septics too. That means there's gonna be more turd waters coming my way because it's all higher than us. So it's going to be all underground, and all the turd water coming our way underneath ground too. It's probably going to, that's why I say contaminate our wells here. Then what do you do? That's guaranteed that's going to happen. I support it in a way because then it'll get all these freaking homeless out of there. There's a bunch of homeless people that were living back there until this guy come back with that bobcat. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. It's the way they live, or it's the only way they can live. I don't mean to be mean to them, but you know what? You're in my backyard basically here, like go away. Right? And these people all come up from like the city, Brampton, Toronto, all up here, and he's just hiding out in the bush. It's like, that's kind of weird. So anyways, another story there, but anyways. Another thing I don't really particularly like is, you know, we'll be working back here and there's people yelling and carrying on in their backyards. It's supposed to be a peaceful place here, and it always has been. And it's bad enough with the trail that they put across the water there, because you're out there having a service, someone's mourning someone, and there's people out in the trail hooting and hauling, or dogs barking, and it's like, really? So it bothered me about them putting that trail in. I got no say against it, so I'm like, whatever. But anyways. Yeah, I was just wondering your opinion, because you use those woods, and with living so close to new construction, I thought it would be good to know your view on the matter. I hope this, I wish your whole family the best. That's from Griffin. Yeah, so that's, I'm kind of on the fence, basically, about it. We'll see what happens, though. I don't know if they're ever going to build there, because of the water that might kill it. I don't know. But they cleared it a bit for some weird reason. So, Bruce Jacobs is the next one here, and this is from July 15th. How much bigger can the, I guess he means cemetery grounds, get before you're out of ground? Well, we've got about 22.5 acres here. About 18, no, less than that. Maybe 17 is actual cemetery. And then there's a bunch of bush here too that they'll clear. So we still got the one big empty field back there, which is, I don't know, there's lots of graves back there. And then past that again, there's like another field probably almost that size again. So there's tons of room still here, really. We're not going to be short of room for, I'll never see the end of it. Hopefully. Long gone by then, but I'll be pushing up my own daisies, I'm sure, by then. Up they go. But anyways, thanks Bruce for sending that in. So yeah, there's quite a bit of room in here left. But next one is from Braden, and this is August 1st. We're getting back to almost time here again. He says, if you give me some rough measurements of what you want the second half of the workshop, I can get you some blueprints made, and then I can tell you how much wood you'll need to cut and let season. So I built this other one. Actually, I had a buddy of mine, he kind of helped me with the roof and all the rafters and stuff. I just kind of built it. I didn't have any plan. I'm just like, yeah, I want it. Actually, I built it from the length of the 6x6 that I bought at the Home Depot, which is a 16 foot. So 16 by, I think it's 10 by 16 again, by 10, you know, 10 by 16 roughly. And then I'm like, oh, they have 12 foot 2x4s. Let's make her 12 foot. So that's why the one wall is huge, and I think it's 8 foot on the other one. So I just kind of went by dimensions that they had at the store. But what I'll do for this other one, I don't know. I'll probably have to sit down and kind of think about kind of how big I want to do it, if we do anything. That's a lot of work, and that's a lot of, I'm finding building this deck, that's a lot of trees. And, you know, I can't really clean all these trees out unless I can get I got a buddy though, he owns the vault company that brings our cement vaults for burials up here. And he's got a chunk of property just a bit west of me here. And he says, oh yeah, there's all kinds of white pines and stuff in there. He's like, if you help me put in some ATV trails, you can take whatever trees you want. And I'm like, okay. Don't know if we'll get to that this year or not, but yeah. But anyways, thanks for that offer, Braden. That's cool. I will keep that in mind. I just don't really know kind of what I want to do with it yet. I just build like a second half, like same that's there, then, you know, I won't probably be able to do the beams though. I can do all the other structural lumber. No, I won't be able to do the other ones either because they're 12 foot. So I can only cut up to 10 unless I spend the money and buy the extra length for that mill, which I kind of sort of sometimes wish I did, but we'll have to see. It's going to depend on the mill if I want to spend money on that too, right? Next one is from Smith. And he says, I have a 2002 F250 extended cab short bed with a 7.3 in it, and it has 481,000 kilometers on the odometer. Wow. Rebuilt the engine at 250K. Really? Had to rebuild it that soon, eh? Replaced the trans at 350K. My dad bought it brand new with 12 miles, and it's almost immediately put in a 4-inch 4-inch exact from the, I don't know what he means here, from the turbo out to the back. I think he's maybe meaning exhaust pipes. Yeah, 4-inch exhaust from the turbo out to the back, and I put two 12-inch kicker subs with a wicked crunch amp. Sorry. Oh wow! So he's got me some pictures here of it. See if I can get the glare off it for you. There you go. It's a nice looking truck. That's kind of too bad that you had to rebuild it that soon, though. That's a big job. But it's a good machine. Oh man, that engine compartment looks about as jam-packed as mine. Holy smokes! I don't know how they they must have some computer to figure that out for them. But that's a nice looking truck. Very nice. Thanks, Smith, for sending that in. And the pictures. So it's really nice. So the next one here is from, let's see here, from Lee. Okay. It says, Bill, I know this is not the correct place to send an email, but it's the only address I could find. That's okay. That's fine. On the subject of installing the new cylinder sleeves in the tractor engine, the proper method is that is used in aircraft and large diesel engines is to heat the block with a torch or whatever and cool the sleeves to make them smaller diameter. I don't think I'd have a big enough torch to heat it up enough, kind of thing, if you know what I mean. I got that. Yeah, it eats up a lot of gas too, though. But I got that rosebud thing for mine, but it eats up a pile of gas. So, just give you a little heads up. I did get them in though. Anyways, you didn't hear that from me. You have to wait for that video for later. Yeah, so cooling it down to make them smaller in diameter. To cool the sleeves in the block, the lower end of the sleeve with wadded newspaper or rags, and fill the sleeve with somewhat crumbled dry ice, which I can't get here, so I just used my freezer, and it worked. There was some grief, but we got all 4 of them in. We have to watch that video later. Leave it this way enough time that they freeze up all around the outside surface. Measure. Oh man, I just thinking of all this freezing and cold, and I've got shivers. Dry ice and freezing and Measure them to see if they reduce their diameter enough to fit in the block. Also, you might try heating the block locally to the cylinder you're going to install and measure and see if it expands. I don't really have good measuring tools for that, big enough measuring tools for that. Sometime back you forced some brass bushings into an arm of some kind in a vise. Big stress on the bushing, which might deform them. Use same heating and cooling procedure with a torch and dry ice. Good luck with your tractor engine. This is from Lee from Spring Valley, California. So I'll just give you a little bit what we did in that video. You guys haven't seen it yet, but I did get them in. I did freeze them. It did help, but the cylinder at the radiator side to the front of the engine was a frickin' nightmare. Oh man. The last like this much, I fought with that and actually broke my 2x4, hitting it so frickin' hard. And like a little bit at a time, little bit at a time, little bit at a time. I even like kind of not honed out, but I ran my honing tool up and down the bore of it to kind of clear it out a little bit and clean up some of the rust and crap out. It was a nightmare. Hope it's gonna run, but anyways. Thanks for all that information though, Lee. That's great. Good information. Next one's from Vince, and Vince is from San Diego. I think this is Vince from San Diego. Yes, it is. I can tell by the question. Hi, Bill. How are you? How are you doing? Are you going to do potatoes again soon? Oh, he loves the potatoes in the farm sim, don't you, Vince? I know you do. Also saw on Google Maps, BILLSTMAXX is located on there at your house. Yeah, I noticed that too, with the mailing address. We can report it to have it removed if you wanted. Thought I would let you know. I did see that, but I mean, really, not much I could do really about it. But that was from August 7th, by the way. Yeah, I don't know, Vince. That's potatoes. It's a lot of work, man. A lot of work for potatoes. But anyways, thanks, Vince, for sending that in. Get on to our next one here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. This is from Douglas. Oh, he's talking about the jumping jack compactor, which we've kind of deemed, for now, something wrong with it. We might look at it in the wintertime, though. We can give us a little project. Could also be the ignition coil. That's kind of what I was thinking, too. It's just weird, though, how it ran. I don't think it's an ignition problem. You'd have it idling, and then you'd rev it up, and then it would kind of bog down. It wouldn't really stall most times. Flip it back to idle. So I think it's an air leak somewhere. It's got an air leak somewhere. And I think it's the crankshaft seals. We're gonna get it off maybe the thing anyways, just to work on it, and we're gonna seal up the intake, so the carburetor and the exhaust. Let's leave the spark plug in. We're gonna pressurize the little I just had the name of it. The little tube that comes out of the block to pressurize the carburetor so it pumps fuel. I'll think about it anyways. That little tube, we're gonna pressurize it or vacuum it with a little vacuum gauge here and see if it holds a vacuum. Almost had it again, what the name of that thing is. Anyways, you guys know what I mean. So thanks Douglas for sending that in. Next one is from Ryan, and this is August 17th. It says, "Hi Bill, my name is Ryan from Buffalo, New York. Been watching you for a long time now, and I love all your videos." Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for saying. My question is, for you is that do you guys plan on ever moving and buying a house? Funny, in that same question again almost. Buying a house and maybe putting up your own shop. That would be nice, but stuff is so expensive here now. I don't know, I can't afford that. I'm gonna have to win the lottery like we were discussing before, I think. Would be nice to have like a concrete floor shop kind of thing. But concrete's so expensive now too. Wow. Yeah. I know you've mentioned in another video you guys rent here. Yes, we do. I know it's convenient where you are because your work is right there. Just curious to see if you ever thought about it. Oh yeah, I've thought about it a lot. I want to move away from here and get away from all these extra people moving in here, we'll say. Oh, it's just so stupid in this town now with these people coming around. Oh man, they're all coming up from the city and then landing here. And if this isn't quite good enough, then they go up to Shelburne, which is like another 20 minutes north of us. And the traffic now just is brutal on this highway out here. Pretty much stops for about an hour at about 3 a.m. And then about 3:30, 4 o'clock, boom, they're coming down, heading down to work again. You know, it's like, oh my God, it just never stops now. It's just, I freaking hate it, honestly. But thanks you, Ryan, for sending that in. All right, this is from Donnie. August 21st. It says, "Hey Bill, hope everything is going well with you and the family." We're doing good. My questions are, he's got many questions. How old are Dylan and Laura? So Laura's 20. She's turned 20 now, last start of August. And Dylan's 18. He turned 18 May 31st. Yeah. Crazy, eh? And he's taller than he's like, you guys have seen him. He's like a head taller than I am now. It's like, really? Were you born in 1980 or close to it? I was born in 1977. I'm a 112277. If you can figure that one out. 112277. So November 22nd, 77. Pretty cool, eh? It's kind of unique. 112277. So yes, same age as I am because I'm 42. Yeah, so that's pretty close. My 12-year-old daughter is obsessed with Canadian money, and she was wondering if maybe you would send her a Canadian dollar. I don't have any with me right here. I do have a toonie that I smushed the middle out of. That's a $2 coin. Just, you know, it's a fidget toy, right? You put it on your finger and you spin it or whatever, and, you know, spin it. And then we were going to a Blue Jays game once, and I popped another one out, and I threw it on the tracks, and that's a flattened one. That's defacing money, though. You don't tell anybody. But it's kind of cool too. It's bigger, so I can get my finger in this one actually. You know, I spin it, and it's a fidget toy. Cost me $2. Holy jeez. A lot cheaper than them spinner thing. And I had one of them here somewhere too. I'm not usually a fidgety person. Yeah, there it is. But the kids had this and it kind of went funny, so I kind of got it and cleaned it up, and I don't know, I kind of mess with it a little bit now. They're kind of totally pointless, but I like the bearings because I've used them on other little projects too. But anyways, now normally I'm not a fidgety guy, but you know, the other time I'll grab this and just, you know, put it on my finger. It's funny, eh? Like my left hand I can fit it right on this finger, but my right I can't even get it over that knuckle. Isn't that crazy? How different that is? 'Cause I'm right-handed, I guess. Thanks for your time and have a great day. So yes, I will try to send you something. It's hard to send money in the mail though. That's the only thing. I wonder what would be best to send that in. I just don't really want to send it in like an envelope, right? It's got to be in something else. If I could get one of those coin, you know, those coin things. What do you call those? It's like if you get a real expensive coin, it comes in that little thing, right? If I can get one of those, I'd send you one. And if I can get a decent looking dollar coin or a $2 one, you know, not with a hole in it maybe. I don't have any more here right now. I don't usually have them just laying around, but they the dollar ones are, I don't know, there's some kind of weird sort of coating on them, and they're nice and golden color when you get them new, but then they kind of tarnish and go kind of milky, kind of yellow colored after a while, so they're not super nice looking when they get kind of tarnished. So I'll have to keep an eye out for a nice fresh one, or a fresh toonie or something. We call them toonie, loonies and toonies, you know, we're totally loonies up here. But $2 minus the thing in the middle, of course, which I don't know where the thing is now, but I don't have a full one here. But anyways, if I can get a couple of good ones, you know, I'll send you a couple of good ones. So thank you for that question. And the last one here is from Vince again. This was from yesterday. It says, question, can we make a base and fortify and you try it out in Rust? If I had my own server and I did that, yes, that would be fine. I have to run this through the guys in our other server, and I don't know whether they'd want to do that. Now, they could do that, actually. He could paste it in. They have a copy and paste program that they could paste it in. Just maybe if you could just email me back, just kind of let me know what kind of base it was you wanted to build. But they could paste it in for you. I'd have to actually, you know, ask them first if that's okay. But just kind of maybe send me an email back to kind of, you know, what kind of base it was you were thinking of, so I can kind of tell them, you know, that they want to put in like the raid base or something. But anyways, also would really like for you to do a gas station video. Oh, really? And can you show the metro in Rust again? Oh, the like the train. I got you. We're next month. We're starting same guy, same server, but we're changing server hosts. So it's going to be a lot better server, a lot bigger map, so we can have that train on it again. Because right now the server host we're with is, it's all right, but you can't put a whole pile of stuff in because the server really lags back a lot then. So they're going to go with, I think like a 42 or 300 size map. It's going to be a big one. So also try building a base by using elevators and making it really high. Yeah, we can go, when you're VIP on that server, I think you can go up to 20. I think they got it set to 20. Normally it's only 6, right? If you're a regular player, so it pays to get VIP. Don't really use the elevators a whole lot because I don't really go up that high unless I'm building like a heli attack chopper tower kind of thing, right? It's really high, yeah, okay. One day before purge, remove the elevators so players can't use it. Oh, don't worry, they'll fly up. Or ladders, they'll use ladders and just climb up, blow a hole in, and they're in. There's pretty much no base you can build on this Rust server, on our server, that you can't access. You can't get in. They'll get in regardless, you know. Even if you do, like, I like doing the honeycomb walls, so you do the triangles. So this is looking down at your base, so triangle, and then you do like another triangle and make it really hard to get in. You do half walls too, so it's even harder again. Turrets will slow people down, but you know what? They'll get in. There's not much you can do. I've had pretty good luck though building the bases up higher and then out, because of being a VIP you have the no stability on too. So once you get up there, you're, you know, it pretty much disappears unless you fly right towards it. So that kind of is helpful. Sometimes in the caves it's pretty good, but they'll get into them pretty easily too. So, but anyways, that is it for, I think, our, yes it is, question and answer number 32. So if you got a question, another question you want to send me, my email is billqa@yahoo.com. And that'll be in your description and stuff, and probably in the title too of this video. So anyways, thanks for sending all those questions in. There were a lot of good questions, and hopefully I answered them all right for you. And if you got another question, send another question, or if anybody else has a question, send a question, and we'll try our best to answer it. So anyways, that's it for today. Thanks again for watching. Catch you all later, and you guys have a good day.